Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dana. Today we're going to work on an element for our farmhouse journals that we're working on. I asked in my last video when we did our tutorial for our D-ring closures if you guys wanted to come along with me as I work on these journals kind of step by step. Y'all said, yeah, you'd like to see that. So what I'm going to do today is I haven't done anything to them. They're sitting just like they were in the last video. I put my signatures together. I haven't sewn them in. They're just sitting in there. What I work on next, after I get my signatures together and before I sew them in, is I work on any elements that I want to include in the journal that are going to be easier for me to work on without the signatures sewn in. Once you sew the signatures in, you're kind of bound to the book being put together. And so there's certain things that I like to do before I do that. Decorate certain elements. Definitely I'm going to probably sew some lace on the edges or some ruffles. Anything I want to do to the edges that I want to sew on, those are going to be definitely easier to do once before they're sewn together. So that's what we're going to work on today, is just one element. I decided that I wanted to add an envelope to each signature, and I have a bag, one of these bags in each signature, but I thought we could add an envelope too, just for added interest and more pocket space. So what I've done is just taken, I have these kind of parchment paper type number 10 envelopes, and what I've done is I have opened the top up like this, and I've folded them in half. So this is what you're going to see on the page here. So this creates a pocket, and it gives us a nice back, a good sized back, that if we wanted to add another pocket or a tuck spot or something like that, or just a focal point, maybe a decorative paper clip to clip something decorative in, that gives us a nice surface to do that. So I have a total of 3 signatures. I've got a 1 signature journal and I've got a 2 signature journal. So I've already done 2 of them, so I'll just show you what I have here. So this is what it's going to look like in the signature. So I've got 2, this will be 2 pockets, 1 on each side. I've just collaged some papers on, and then on the back I just left it plain because I'm just not sure what I want to do with those yet. So I'll show you what it looks like inside the journal. So I think I'm going to put this one here. So if we put this in like this, this is what it's going to look like. So when we get to that page in the journal, we'll have something here. I'm not going to leave that plain, but then when you open it up, you have this nice pocket here that will hold a journaling card or a tag or something like that. And I think that's going to add a lot of interest to maybe a page like this that just has like a white piece for journaling and a coffee dye piece for journaling. It'll add a nice interest there. And so here's what it looks like on the other side, like that. So that's going to be a nice element. So I created that one, and then I also created this one. Really pretty, just very simple, just some collaged paper, and I went into my butterfly bin and put a butterfly on each side. Okay, so let's create this, and basically we're just gonna collage on here. So I've got it opened up and I folded it in half. And as you notice on here, I left kind of the middle open. I didn't collage over the whole thing, over the fold, because I want to keep my middle of my signature where we're going to sew the signature in. I want to keep that as thin as I can. And the more papers that I add to it, it's just going to bulk up that middle where we're going to sew. So I just, basically these pages, these little sheets here, the background ones, are cut at about 4.5 inches in order to leave that middle free. Okay? Same on the back, just left that middle free. Okay, so what I'm going to deal with first is these curves here and getting this inside flap kind of covered in here. And I'm going to use scraps of my denim paper that I used for collaging on the covers, these little denim papers. I want to use all my scraps on the ephemera pieces in the journal. So what I'm going to do is take a pencil. I'm going to decide which part of this I want. I think I want it to go like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this inside here, the flap, and all the way over, and then I'm going to push it all the way kind of to the top, keeping it straight on the edge here. And then what I'm going to do is kind of hold it in place and flip it over, and I'm just going to trace with a pencil the shape. Oops. All right, Sammy. Sorry, my dogs have been barking all morning. I do not know what his problem is. It's driving me crazy. And then I'm just going to trim this out. And that gives us roughly the shape of kind of the top of the envelope. Okay. And then what we have is Sam. Then what I'm going to do is kind of now place it where I want it. See how nice that top edge is now? Leaving the kind of border that I want. And then I'm just going to make a mark here. And I can't see my fold line up there. There it is. And here. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut straight up. So now we have the perfect piece right there. Okay, it's easy as that. So let me do the other side. And I think I'm going to use kind of the same angle on the other side. So again, pushing underneath this flap and all the way over. And then I'm going to line the top up here. I'm just going to push it forward until that top lines up. And then flip it over and trace the line. So that I can get that shape. I got some pencil marks here that I want to erase. Okay, I'm just going to cut this out. Okay, now let's get it to the size we need. Get on in there. There we go. Okay, right about here and about here. I'll cut that down to size. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I'm just going to ink the edges, and I'm not going to worry about the bottom edge because it's going to be hidden, so you're not really going to see it. Okay, there's that one. And here's this one. Okay, so I'm going to get these glued down. I get my little gluing book here. When I do collage, I like to use the Oohoo stick. I find this works excellent. It does, for me, it sticks really well. I've never had a problem with it coming up. So I just use a little like paperback book or something like that as my glue book. Okay, let's get this lined up where we want it. Tuck it underneath here and line up this edge just like that. That looks really good. Okay, and like I said, I just use a book like this because when you're using a glue stick, you know, you want to get coverage everywhere. And so using a book like this, it allows you to get coverage with your glue stick edge to edge. Okay, we'll get this one underneath the lip here. And get that placed where we want it. All right, so that's what we have so far. Really cute, right? Okay, now let's take care of this. Now, all I do here is I literally take a little scrap of a little scrap of paper, and I'm just gonna put it in just like that. Now, do I want something that's a little more decorative? Maybe like this one. That would be cute. Yeah, let's do that. So we're gonna need to ink, let's see, the top side and the two sides. Just gonna ink what's gonna show. Okay, now we'll get this glued down. And I'm just gonna line it up right here on the edge where, right there. That looks really cute. Let's use this one. Let's see which side we want. Oh, this one might look cute. Like that. And these don't have to be lined up perfectly. They're going to be sitting on two different pages in the journal. So it's not like they're going to be side to side. I'm just going to tear this one a little bit right here. Just feel like it needs a little rougher edge to the top there. Yeah. I think that looks better. Okay, so we'll ink these sides that are going to show. I love the inked edges on that denim print because it looks like an old worn pair of dirty jeans. Okay, so let's get this one glued down, and then we can start on our other areas. Okay, let's line this up. There. So now our inside little flaps here are all done. That looks really cute. Okay. So while this is fairly flat, I'm going to go ahead and do the back side. Could do that first too. And basically all I do for this is I choose a full sheet of paper, and I think I'm going to use the Theodosia Square. I just love this paper pad. And I'm just going to pick a piece. Oh, right there. That's really pretty. Just going to look for something that looks vintagey but kind of farmhousey. This looks really good too. It's really hard to choose on this paper pad. I'm going to keep my finger there. Just going to flip through, see what else is here. That's cute. Let's use this one. Well, that one's kind of close to the color of the envelope, so let's keep looking. That's pretty too. They're all kind of close to the color of the envelope. I want a nice contrast. That's pretty. Let's use this one. It's close, but it's not like tan. It's more, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's actually green. I like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just flip this piece of paper over, and I'm gonna take my envelope, and I'm just gonna trace around the whole thing. Okay, and now I'm going to cut this out. Now what we're going to end up with is a piece of paper that is the exact size of our envelope, and I don't want that, but I'll show you how we're going to very easily fix that. Okay, so then we end up with this scrap over on this side to use in collaging. So I'll put that in my little pile over here. I love these little decorated envelopes. It adds so much to a signature. You can decorate them any way you want, and you can be as simple as or elaborate as you want to be with them, and it adds so much to a page. Sometimes you just need that little bit of contrast to break up some of the solids that you end up with when you put your signature together. Okay, so what we have is this, the exact size of our envelope. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this in half with the pretty sides out. And remember I told you we want to leave this middle free. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut some off. Okay, so you see how I want it to kind of lay like this. So you can see how much I'm going to need to cut off. Okay, so I'm just going to start here. And if I need to take, and I'm just going to cut in a straight line. And if I need to take more off, I will. So let's see how that's laying. That looks pretty good. Okay, so that's good. So now we need to take some off the middle because right now we're exactly on the fold. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to snip off about 1/4 of an inch. Now because we did that while it was folded, both of our sides are the exact same shape. And now they should fit right on here exactly like they need to. Perfect, and it's super easy. So don't be intimidated by the shapes of envelopes. You can use them in your journals and mat them very easily. So I hope that helped. So now what I'm gonna do is just ink the edges of both pieces, and then we'll glue them down. And this is the side that I'm gonna kind of leave like this. And I'll deal with decorating this after the journal's all sewn together because I don't really know what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to put a focal point on it or create an extra tuck spot. It might be cute to take maybe like a little mini envelope or something like that, like a tiny ephemera piece, and use a decorative paper clip and kind of clip it to the back side of here so that it shows. That would be cute too. So I don't really know what I want to do with this back side, and it'll be easy enough to either decorate or create or glue a tuck spot down, or even a pocket if I decide to put a pocket there. It'll be easy enough to do that once the signature's sewn in, so it won't be difficult. But as far as decorating it like this and matting everything and collaging on it, that would be fairly difficult to do if it was already sewn together. So we'll get this kind of part finished and done because, you know, it's just easier to do when it's apart. So I'm just going to dry fit this, see how far I want it up. Maybe like that. I'll bring my glue book over and we'll get these glued down. And the reason that I use when I'm collaging or I'm putting papers like this on that cover a big kind of a larger area, the reason I use my Oohoo stick is because I know that I'm getting contact everywhere. And I think I got that a little too close to the fold, so I'm going to peel that up. Move it over before my glue totally dries. Well, geez. Okay, I need to glue it again. Sorry about that. I'm sure that's happened to all of us where we put it down not where it's supposed to be. But the glue stick just allows you to get glue over the whole thing and you don't have the kind of lumps and bumps of like if you had used wet glue. There we go, that's better. There we go. Oh, that's cute. See, it looks vintage, but it also looks very farmhouse with the little cherries. I really like that. It's a cute paper. Okay, let's do this other piece here for the other side. Get this lined up and laid down. Cute. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so we have these panels to worry about, and what I'm going to do, I think, before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead, anything else, I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges of my envelope. Now, inking is something that's definitely preference. You do not have to do this part if you are not the kind of person who likes that distressed look on the edges, then don't do it. It's all what you want to do, what you want your journal to look like. Our journals and our art and the things that we create are a reflection of our own creativity. And just like with anything, food or anything else, everybody has their own different style and tastes. So if you don't like ink edges, just leave them. You don't have to ink them. I happen to just really like that distressed look. That's just me. Okay, we're getting there. And I don't need to do this middle. I won't do the middle because it's going to be sewn in. You're not going to see it. So there's no reason to fiddle with it. Okay, this last edge. And then we're going to take care of this part here. So I'll just lift this up with my finger. And I notice this envelope's kind of coming up. I need to glue some of that down. So I'll do that first after I'm done here. Can get kind of fiddly getting this little part that's this top part here, but it can be done. I think I missed this part over here close to the edge. Let me get that. All right, now I noticed some little flaps here that need to be glued down. So I just want to do that real quick. Get that to where everything's laying down. There we go. All right. Let me check our time here, how we're doing on time. Okay. All right, so now what I do is I look through my pile and I look for a piece that's kind of full and that's going to cover this whole area here that I like. And I'm going to take my ruler and kind of tear that. And then I'm going to kind of peek here and see where my edge is. And I'm going to tear that all the way like that. And then we need to deal with this curve. And basically I just kind of eyeball it. I'll tear a little bit off like that. And then I'll place it down and see if I like it. Okay, and that's pretty good. I just need to take a little bit off here. And what I'll do is just take my scissors and kind of clip that curve a little. Okay, so now I'll ink the edge. Okay. I'm just going to do this one side. My phone does this weird thing. I record on my phone and it does this weird thing that when it hits 4 gigs of space in a recording, it automatically starts another video. And in order to sew those 2 videos together, it takes hours on my computer to do that. So I want to make sure that I stop before I get to that point. So I'll probably just decorate just this one side for you guys on camera, and then I'll finish it up. I'll finish up the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now look through my scrap pile, and I'm going to look for just some pieces that I can kind of tear and just so that our piece doesn't look just flat like this. So I'm just going to tear the edges. Because I don't want really any straight edges. I think that's going to look really cute, like right up here. And then we need something kind of going across here. So let me see what I have over here. In this massive pile. This is really pretty. Okay, so let's tear the edge of that. Let's see where we want this. Maybe right here. Tear that off. Let's ink these. And basically that's how easy collaging is you just kind of add pieces where you think it looks like it needs it. Just to add some interest to the page or to the little coverage here that we're doing, the little envelope front. Okay. Let's get these glued down. I'm going to glue this one down first. I'm going to glue the bottom layer down first. Put that right about here. We'll do this piece. That looks cute right here. Okay. All right. And I think I might want a little piece right here. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what I do have? Oh, this would be really pretty. A little piece of doily here. Let's do that. That would be pretty. Maybe right up here, right in line with this. Just to cut this off a little. Where it can sit on this edge here. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna lay glue down here. It's much easier to glue right here than it is to put glue on the doily itself. Put this up here like this. Lay that down. Need a little more glue. Let's cut the edge off here. Get my smaller scissors. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. Now what I want to do is just add like a butterfly. So I'm going to go into my little butterfly bin here and see if I can find just the right one to go on here. This looks pretty. I'm just going to ink just to knock back some of that white, because we really don't have any white going on here. Now I will take my wet glue and glue this down. Right there. Okay, very cute. Okay, so that's what we have. I'll finish the other side off camera. And these are going to look great in our signatures for our farmhouse journals. So I'll meet you back here next time, everybody, for the next step in our farmhouse journals. I hope you like this project. Add those envelopes to your junk journal signatures. They turn out really cute. As always, have a wonderful day and God bless.